It happened again. All right, we some people got their expectations high, some people got their hopes up. State of play happens. No Spider-Man 2 DLC. I will take the blame for last time. All right, back in May, I was getting really excited. I thought maybe this was around the time. It was the summer gaming reveal season. Insomniac hadn't said anything for so long. It felt like the right time for a DLC announcement. For this state of play, though, I do not take responsibility for people getting excited. All right, this time, it's on you. I said time and time again to make sure to temper your expectations. Do not get overly hyped. Nothing is official until it's official. And to be honest, because I went in with way lower expectations, I watched that state of play and kind of enjoyed it. Opens up with some new DLC on the way for Astrobot that's going to be free. I mean, Astrobot's my personal game of the year, so I'm really excited for new content to be coming to that game. The Alan Wake expansion is really exciting for me as well. Alan Wake 2 is one of my favorite games like ever. I mean, it's one of the best survival horror games, and I'm really excited for them to go all out with this expansion next month. And then also, to cap off the state of play, we're getting a new Ghost of Tsushima, Ghost of Yotei. It looks so freaking good. Beautiful visuals, built from the ground up for the PlayStation 5, a whole new location, and I mean, new weapons. It looks awesome. So yeah, overall, a really solid state of play. And I said yesterday that from what they were talking about, it really did feel like they were setting it up to be kind of a mini PlayStation showcase. And I'll be honest, that's kind of how it presented itself. We got a new look at the upcoming hardware, the PS5 Pro. Some of the games are going to be getting PS5 Pro enhancements, Marvel's Spider-Man 2 being one of them. We got new content coming to some big PlayStation titles, and then we got a massive new first-party announcement. Overall, like an 8 out of 10 show for me. I really enjoyed what we got to see. And again, I am definitely bummed out that we didn't get anything for Marvel Spider-Man 2, that we didn't get a DLC announcement. And now a lot of people are starting to put into question, is there even ever going to be DLC? To be honest, the answer to that question might just be no. And another question out there is, did DLC even ever exist? The answer to that question might also be no. It is what it is. Marvel Spider-Man 2 released as is. The game came out, it was a full experience. It has a beginning, middle, and end. It obviously sets up some more content for the future. We've got some loose threads, the whole Carnage thing. You know, we also obviously have the whole thing with Chameleon from that side mission. And then the post-credit scene very clearly sets up that Norman Osborn is going to be teaming up with Doc Ock. We're going to be getting the Green Goblin in some way, shape, or form. But it's starting to look like all of that's just going to be saved for a Marvel Spider-Man 3. I'm kind of disappointed, especially at the Carnage thing is being saved for Marvel Spider-Man 3, because again, I've been saying time and time again that I would really like for the Symbiote storyline to just be wrapped up in a nice, neat little bow within Spider-Man 2. I don't really want anything else Symbiote related in Spider-Man 3. I don't even want the anti-venom suit to return for Spider-Man 3. I just want it to be Peter in his classic costume, Miles, definitely Miles in his classic costume, going up against a 616 inspired Green Goblin. And then who knows what they might end up doing with Doc Ock on the side. I just really hope they're not setting up Superior Spider-Man. Not that I don't like the storyline, I just don't want to see it within this universe. And then yeah, you know, they're also setting up Silk. Is she going to be a playable character? What are they going to do with that? A lot of really interesting things for the future. It looks like, though, we're not going to see some of those things carried over into a DLC. Now, I'm not completely giving up, and here comes the copium once again, because when you look at God of War Ragnarok, it is the perfect example of why you shouldn't lose all hope. I'm not saying look at God of War Ragnarok as the example to get excited, but with Ragnarok, nobody thought that game was going to be getting DLC of any sort. The game director, when interviewed, said that, I think we're good. We released this game and put it out into the wild. We're happy for it to be just as it is. It was insinuated multiple times that we shouldn't expect and that there probably isn't going to be DLC. And I was there live in the audience at the Game Awards last year when they announced it. God of War Ragnarok Valhalla, I really loved that expansion. It wasn't like massive. It didn't have a ton of cutscenes or anything, but it was substantial enough. And we could very well see that end up happening with Marvel Spider-Man 2 at the Game Awards this year as well. And you know, a lot of people pointed out to me, I didn't even realize this, the Horizon Forbidden West DLC was also announced at the Game Awards. Coupling that with the fact that obviously we also had the pre-order bonuses announced and that key art shown during Summer Game Fest, Jeff Keighley is creating a bit of a partnership here and has a pretty good relationship with PlayStation. Whereas before, it would usually be PlayStation announces and talks about the stuff on their own accord, it seems as though these days they're collaborating with Jeff Keighley, whether it's Summer Game Fest or the Game Awards, a lot more. And, you know, with E3 being gone, Jeff is trying to fill that void with things like Summer Game Fest, and he's also trying to carry on the gaming news cycle all the way through to Gamescom opening night live, and then cap it off at the end of the year with the Game Awards. So am I sitting here telling you that when the Game Awards roll around this year, you guys better get excited and you better get your hopes up real high for Spider-Man 2 DLC? Yes, that is exactly what I'm telling you. Also get excited for a Marvel Spider-Man 3 announcement, Wolverine gameplay, and the next 10 Marvel games that are coming out from the next 10 development studios making them. No, okay, seriously, don't get your hopes up too high, all right? We've been burned multiple times before. I have been the problem sometimes, getting you guys a little too excited, more excited than maybe we should have been. But now I am going to be the voice of reason, all right? I am going to be the one to tell you guys we all need to chill. If by the end of the year we don't get a DLC announcement, safe to say it's probably not happening at all. And if it's not happening at all, well then we can all shift our excitement towards the next Insomniac game that we know they're working on and that is coming out, Marvel's Wolverine. We're getting a freaking Wolverine game, guys. That is extremely exciting. We've also had writers working on this game tease and hint that they might end up making a Venom game. And obviously we know that several years from now, we're gonna get a Marvel Spider-Man 3. We're gonna get the cap to this trilogy from Insomniac Games, and all of those things are extremely exciting. They're all things to look forward to, and in the meantime, we have tons of awesome games on the way. 2025 alone is so stacked. Marvel 1943, Rise of Hydra, do not forget about that, and do not underestimate how good that game could be. But also, I mean, the juggernaut of video games, the video game that every other game is trying to steer clear of, GTA 6 comes out next year too. And with this recent state of play, we got the announcement and confirmation that the next Ghost of Tsushima game, now titled Ghost of Yate, will also be releasing in 2025. There's a lot of awesome games out there to play, a lot of awesome games that are coming that will keep us busy until we get to the next thing that Insomniac is working on, which we're all very hyped for. And while I know that a lot of people like to brush this aside or not think that it was that big of a deal, I feel like we cannot downplay how severe the hack was against Insomniac. Of course, they put out tons of statements saying that they're resilient, which is awesome. You know, I really love that that team is trying to push through a very difficult situation. But given how long it took to get quality of life updates for Marvel Spider-Man 2, given how long it took to get the New Game Plus update for the game, you'd have to imagine that hack did a lot of damage to Insomniac and a lot of the people working there. We just gotta have like a tiny bit of sympathy, guys. There are human beings making these games. They are not setting out to make them bad, and they're certainly not sitting there twiddling their thumbs, not trying to release updates or content for these games. I'm sure if Brian Antar or anybody at Insomniac Games could just push a big red button and release a ton of DLC content, new suits, updates, and everything for Marvel Spider-Man 2, they would. But unfortunately, making games, it's a lot of work. You don't just snap your finger and then whatever you want happens. I don't want to rant too much, all right? I don't want to go too off track here. All in all, what I'm trying to say is, yes, it's a bummer. We didn't get Spider-Man 2 DLC announcement during the PlayStation State of Play. And yes, it's a bummer that we've been in this exact same position several times before, but it's gonna be okay. There are tons of things to be excited about. There are tons of things for us to look forward to play on PlayStation and on all platforms. So let's just get excited for that. Let's stop dwelling on the things that could have been. And if we keep those expectations low, if we don't think that anything's gonna happen, maybe come time for the Game Awards, something's gonna surprise us. We'll have to wait and see. And obviously, you know, I'm gonna keep you guys locked here on this channel for all things superhero gaming. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you got those notifications on. And with that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Were you bummed out that we didn't get an announcement for Spider-Man 2 DLC during the State of Play, or were you not expecting there to be anything? And also, what do you think about that State of Play? Are you excited for the next Ghost game? Sound off with all your thoughts in the comments. I've been Caboose. I'll see you guys later.